In this video, we're going to continue to cover topic 10.2, and I'm looking at example 2. So we're going to decide if these series are convergent or divergent. We know that they are going to follow the geometric pattern. So eventually we will have to recognize which series test to use with which one. We'll eventually have 9 of these different series tests. So I know I have something to the end, so I'm geometric, so I'm looking for my R. My R is whatever the something inside the parentheses is. So in this case, R is 1.1, which I know the absolute value of that is greater than 1. So since it's greater than 1, I know that this series diverges. Looking at B, it's a little bit trickier to see that that's geometric, so I'm going to rewrite it a bit. So I'm going to say that that's n equals 0 to infinity, 1 over e to the n. Now, it still doesn't look quite geometric enough, so I'm going to rewrite again. So it equals 0 to infinity, and I could put this n up on the 1, because that's not going to change the 1 in any way, and then I could take that n, reverse some of my exponent properties, and put it on the outside. Now it's looking very geometric with r equal to 1 over e. So remember that e is like saying 1 over 2.718. Well, when I take 1 and I divide by 2.718, I'm getting closer and closer and closer to 0. So I'm definitely not greater than 1. So this is something that is between 0 and 1. So therefore, this one would converge. Oh, and we are supposed to be finding the sum of it when it converges. So to find the sum, we do a over 1 minus r. So in this case, our sum as n equals 0 to infinity of e to the negative n equals. So my first term, I'm supposed to plug 0 into this right here. So anything to the 0 power we know is 1. So my first term has to be 1. And then I'd have 1 minus the r value, which is 1 over e. I could make this e over e if I wanted to simplify this more. So that would be e minus 1 over e. And then I could flip and multiply. So e over e minus 1 would be the sum of this. All right, let's take a look at example C. So in C, it looks like my R value is negative 0.75, and we know the absolute value of that is going to be less than 1 but greater than 0. So I know therefore that this one converges. And then I'm going to actually calculate the A value, or the sum, but before that I need to figure out the A value. Notice that this starts at 1, not at 0. So it's a little bit different. So A equals 3 times negative 0.75 to the first. And let's see, that's the same thing as saying 3 times negative 3/4, which is negative 9/4. You could do it in decimal as well. So in order to calculate this sum, so the sum is n equals 1 to infinity of 3 times negative 0.75 to the n equals my A value, which is this negative 9/4, over 1 minus the ratio, which is the absolute value of that would be 0.75. It's actually going to be negative 0.75. So we would use the actual value of the ratio. So we're going to look at that double negative is going to go positive. This is going to be 4 over 4. So we get negative 9/4 divided by 7/4. And then I'm going to flip and multiply. So these would cancel. So I get that the sum is negative 9/7.